Hello, good morning and welcome to Niger Delta Today, coming to you live from Silverbird Television right here in Port Harcourt or wherever you're watching us from, whether from STV News 24. We say to you, it's a beautiful day and we're about to give you, of course, what it is you need to know about the news, what's going on around, of course, Nigeria and the Niger Delta region. My name is Deborah Balama. We'll take a little break. When we come back on the Niger Delta Today, we're going to, of course, give you the headlines of the news. That's where we fuse all the happenings on the newspapers as well as top stories coming from other mainstream medium, and of course after which today we're going to be bringing to you a medical package which we have called Living Healthy. Living Healthy is where you get to know, of course, how to maintain yourself, because of course, you know, the politicking, the governance, the working, everything revolves around good health. Without good health, you cannot really be functional. So of course, take a break. When we come back, we will kick off fully on Niger Delta Today. Welcome. Yes, you're welcome back to Niger Delta Today, and then we go on straight to, of course, the headlines, where we get to, of course, give you the happenings around Nigeria, around the Niger Delta, as well as River State, as regards to the news. And we start, of course, with the newspaper headliners, the major headliners, and then we go over to, we're starting today with the Punch. And on the Punch, we have as the major headliner there, presidency. Search for strong consensus candidate. Buhari directs APC governors. Well, you are aware that there has been consultations upon consultations, and yesterday we are aware that the president had a meeting with governors in the APC, of course talking about state being controlled by the APC. And well, at that meeting, of course, he actually did speak to them and told them that he had given them the privilege to select their successors from their different states, and for those of them who are incumbent, he has also given them the privilege to return back. So they should allow him the privilege to be the major decider on who the consensus candidate would be. Now, there's been this talk about this consensusship, and we don't know how that is going to turn out. There are rumors that it could be Amechi, rumors that it could be Obunaya, rumors that it could be several of them have been rumored, and of course the rumor about Jonathan doesn't seem to hold too much water, but it is still going on that, well, that it is possible that he could have been screened virtually, but we don't know how true that is. We're expecting that Ike Chukwueze, his media aide, will come up to tell us something. Is it true or is it not? And then we go over to Nigerian News Direct. And on Nigerian News Direct, we have as a major headliner there that consensus plan shock as Buhari begs governors to pick preferred presidential candidates. Well, that is what it is. He is asking for their permission to allow him be the one to choose who his successor will be, just like they have had the right to choose. However, before that meeting, it is actually being said that the governors had their own meeting where they picked one northern governor, just to say they wanted to have their own preference. They had one governor, and of course from the north, and one governor from the south, saying that that was their own consensus. But the president, on hearing this, gathered them, of course, and is appealing to them to let him that privilege of choosing who his successor would be. We don't know whether his successor from the APC might win the general election, but that's what it is. And then we go over to The Nation. And on The Nation newspaper, as the major headliner there, we have that Buhari seeks APC governor support to pick to pick his successor, I beg your pardon, a consensus candidate for the All Progressive Congress. Well, this seems to be like the major headline now. We'll go on and over to Daily Trust, where we have, of course, that Buhari rules APC governors over choice of successor. There's another headliner there that says that 2 Zamfara banditry kingpins or that killed in rivalry clash. Well, and then you go to Business Day, where we have that debt service. Nigeria edges closer to Lebanon crisis. This is how bad it is looking for us. Too much debt. Of course, you know what Okonjo-Iweala did for us while she was around as the Minister of Finance. She was able to waive a lot of our international debts that we owe, especially to the World Bank. But as it stands right now, it is stored in very high. Aside from the international loans we're owing, of course, we know that even with the Chinese government, we seem to have a lot of debt tied down also with the Chinese government due to some projects that they are financing at the moment. Well, where will this take us to? I just hope that the generations unborn are not about to be plunged into debts that will take a very long time to fix. And we hope that the government actually knows what they are doing as regards to debt management. And then we go over to Daily Times. The Daily Times, as the major headliner there, we have 2023 conditions APC presidential candidate must meet by Buhari. Well, this is, if you want to find out more on that story, you need to check out the Daily Times. And then we'll go to Leadership, where we have that in final push for consensus, PMB says, I will choose my successor. That is what it is. It seems to be the major headliner. Well, this has been on for a while. That Buhari actually has the intention to do this, but he hasn't really come up public to say who it is. What is so special about this his successor that he is delaying so much time to mention? I mean, in cases of where you see, of course, the PDP didn't have any preferred, so we all knew that from the beginning. But they had actually said that it was going to be zoned to the south. I'm talking about the APC National. Would this successor be from the south or from the north? Will the Atiku candidature for the PDP, People's Democratic Party, PDP, is it going to affect the APC's choice or the president's choice on who will be his successor? That your guess is as good as mine. We will look out for that. And then I will go over to this Nigeria. And on this Nigeria, we have there that APC presidential primary. Allow me pick my successor. This is what is majorly topping the news this morning. And well, this is actually what's going on. We hear that the Akwa Ibom state governor did make some speech, even though it's just been alleged. However, it's been alleged that he said that the reason why he didn't toe the Nyesom Wike line is because he feels like Nyesom Wike is a talkative. Well, that is what it seems. That's his reason for not. He's saying even if we want a southern president, it wouldn't be a talkative. Well, if that statement is coming from him, you all now know why Emmanuel Udom did not vote for his contemporary in River State, who is also a southerner like him. Yes, Nyesom Wike. All right, so that's the much we can take this morning on, of course, the headliners. And when we come back from this break, we will be having a chit chat. This week is Lifestyle Medicine Week. You might wonder what lifestyle medicine is. Lifestyle medicine, as the name sounds, is not the physical drug that you take. Well, it is believed that there are some kind of food you eat and some kind of things you do, exercises you embark upon, just general lifestyle habits that you can imbibe that can make you live longer. And well, they call that lifestyle medicine. It's a kind of genre that has been introduced, and from the 29th of May crossing into the 4th of June, these people who are lifestylers decided to market around Nigeria, around the world. They are looking at making this a habit for everyone. Lifestyle medicine. Today is, of course, the day we get to bring you the medical program every Wednesday. It's actually called Living Healthy on Niger Delta today. Every Wednesday we'll bring you that. We're going to have Dr. Fwebu, who is our in-house doctor, who will be talking to us much more about insomnia that we started last week. Insomnia and, of course, oversleeping. We are looking at how is your sleep on that corner. But first, let's get to find out what Dr. F. Young has for us this morning on teaching us how to use lifestyle to substitute drugs. Be right back.
With a gradual lifting of COVID-19 restrictions across the country, life seems to be returning to something close to normal. But is it really? The coronavirus is still out there and remains deadly and highly contagious, and only too willing to strike again and again and again. Do not drop your guard. Maintain good personal hygiene, avoid overcrowded places, and more significantly, get vaccinated. Remember, it's never over till it's completely over. This is a message from the Silverbird Group.
Okay, welcome back to Niger Delta Today, and on Niger Delta Today we are bringing you that section of it that makes you healthy. Yes, it makes you healthy. Okay, so we have with us this morning a lifestyle medical practitioner. She is also a family medicine consultant. Join us and welcome Dr. Afyong John. Good morning to you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yes. And so let's get on to it. Lifestyle medicine. What we know as medicine is the pill you take. So what is lifestyle medicine?
Beautiful. Lifestyle medicine is a medical specialty. Now it's relatively new as a medical specialty because it's in recent time that certifications have been going on. But it's about the ability to use therapeutic lifestyle interventions. Now I've used the word therapeutic, meaning that we want to use this lifestyle intervention as a primary modality to be able to treat, reverse and prevent chronic diseases. Now you agree with me that there's an epidemic of chronic diseases, from hypertension to diabetes to cancer to arthritis, and all the non-communicable diseases is on the rise. And lifestyle medicine modalities have been found to be able to take care of 80% of these diseases. And so it's not, we want to change the paradigm from a pill to one for every ill, to be able to change your lifestyle to be able to prevent, treat, and oftentimes reverse these chronic diseases.
Okay, so let me get you clearly. Are you saying that there are therapeutic measures that can reverse illnesses? Because I believe I can understand the part of prevention, but when the person is now down, let's say with stroke, and are you saying that there are other methods other than medicine you swallow that can actually reverse this?
Beautiful. Lifestyle medicine is not different from the conventional medicine, but it's actually the foundation. It's been there all along, but unfortunately they were paying lip service to it. Oh, we all know when you have diabetes, said, oh, live a lifestyle, and nobody was really teaching you how to go about it. But we're saying now that most of these diseases are lifestyle related. They came in because of your lifestyle, and they can be corrected by changing your lifestyle. That's what we're saying. And lifestyle medicine has what we call the pillars of lifestyle medicine. Number one is the food. Now, food is medicine. That statement is very true, and it couldn't be truer. Food is medicine. People don't understand. They feel, oh, well, they take food as energy, they take food as information. But food actually is information. It talks to your gene. You know, your gene can load disease, but food actually can actually tell your gene what to express and what not to express. So you see that the fact that you have a genetic tendency to express a particular disease does not mean you have to express it, meaning that you have a choice to either express the disease or not express the disease by the simple thing you put into your mouth. That's how powerful it is.
Okay, so let's look at the preventive side of it. So you're saying now that there's some kind of food you eat that could make you prone to falling ill to some illnesses.
Exactly.
Can you give us examples, please?
Oh, beautiful. First, the simple sugars, white sugar, flour, all kinds of processed, ultra-processed foods. Now we're saying in lifestyle medicine, we advocate predominantly whole food, plant-based diet, because the phytonutrients, the colors you see in plants, are not just there for anything. They are actually medicines for you. They contain what we call microRNAs that actually talk to your gene through the concept of epigenetics, which means that you have the genetic tendency to have a particular disease, and because you're eating these things, substances from food, it tells your gene, don't express this disease, please express this disease. So each time you take that bottle of drink, remember you're talking to your gene and telling your gene, well, you need to express diabetes, you need to express hypertension. But each time you take that plant, that fruit, that vegetable, predominantly whole food, plant-based diet, you're telling your gene, I don't need any of these diseases.
Okay, well, you know what works for A doesn't work for B. There are situations where to A, sugar makes them prone to diabetes. To B, sugar makes them feel better. The people who have natural low sugar issues as well, and this causes loss of energy. Where do you strike the balance in making sure that you don't miss anything, even while you're trying to keep to this therapeutic measures that you mentioned, which is part of having fruits and all that, eating rightly?
Beautiful. Science, we're talking science here. Now, we talk about processed sugar. Even if you have low blood sugar, you don't need processed sugar. So we're not talking anecdotal evidence. We're saying scientific things have been backed up. We need to understand that sugars from fruits and vegetables are not the same like your processed white sugar. So you understand that we're saying you need to eat foods that talk to your gene about disease. Now there's a concept of precision medicine that is going on about testing your gene and all that for the food that is good for you. Yeah, that's on a different level. But as a general rule, predominantly whole food, plant-based diet. Why whole food? Because when the food is close to how it is in nature, what happens is there's something called food package. The food doesn't come with just one thing. It comes with a lot of packages. And so by the time you take that whole food, it talks to your gene, it talks to your body and tells your body what to do and what to express.
Okay, well, you know how it is in the country. The poor is more in population than the rich.
Okay.
To a wealthy man, he can manage all these things you're talking about. But how does a poor man who can barely afford his gari and a little soup to eat, how does he keep to this?
But gari, you just said gari. Gari is okay.
All right.
And we're talking about simple things around you. Our mothers in the village, do you realize they lived longer? They didn't have diabetes, hypertension, and cancers? You and I know that
they were predominantly farmers, so they farmed their own food.
Exactly.
So they didn't have to buy it most times.
Beautiful. You could do a simple. Because what we want is change in orientation. That pastry is not what you need. You know when you want to take your children out, you want to go and buy them pastas and all that. You think you're doing them well. You're not. That thing you cook, that home cooked food, we'll say let's go back.
So in other words, does it involve reducing processed food?
Exactly. Ultra processed food, should be as much as possible out of the pantries, as much as possible. Whole food, then plant-based. So we're saying that it's not a sign of being a big man to eat that big portion of meat. Not that we're not saying completely remove it, we're saying predominantly plant-based diet. So the idea is the principle, not the individual food, depending on the cost. And remember that foods are in seasons. Like now we have corn. Corn is whole food, plant-based. It's carbohydrate, yes, but it's whole food. So we had mango. We had these things are in seasons. So you can actually key into the season that these foods are available. Now that's only for food. The second pillar is physical activity. Exercise is medicine. Science has proven over and again that this simple physical activity can reduce your risk of chronic disease. We're sedentary people. You wake up in the morning, you're seated, you're always sitting, you go to work, you're sitting. But we've now found that being sedentary is an independent risk factor for cardiovascular disease. So the amount of hours you spend sitting down is correlated to your tendency and your risk factor of having.
So that when you're speaking, we speak to a heterogeneous crowd. Cardiovascular disease, what does that mean? You break it down, heart diseases.
Yes, heart disease.
Let's use the best term so that people who are watching, who perhaps don't have as much education, can understand us.
Yes, we're saying that people that sit a lot, they don't work out. Our mothers, it's not just that they farm the food. They went to farm in the morning. They trekked back. They were on bicycles. They were exercising. But every short distance, you want to take taxi, you could trek. Park your car and trek. You're doing yourself a world of good. So you see, exercise is medicine. So physical activity, you increase your level of activity. Just find a way and make sure you incorporate it into your lifestyle. It doesn't mean you have to go to the gym. That's why people miss it. Or they think it's a gym. No, it doesn't have to be the gym. Exercise is increase your physical activity. You might have a structure in your house, but make sure you incorporate it. The minimum recommendation is 150 minutes in a week, meaning you can do 30 minutes in a day. You can do even 10. Every small bout of exercise you do, every small amount of time, it affects your health positively.
Tell us about therapy that can reverse illnesses.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about, let's say for instance someone has got now the person is already down.
Diabetes, for example.
Let's say diabetes. No, diabetes is understandable. They tell you stop sugar.
Okay.
I'm talking about someone that's down with stroke.
Okay.
What is a therapeutic measure to handle such a situation?
Now,
what can be done to reverse it?
First of all, what caused the stroke? Stroke comes either because you had a chronic disease, hypertension, diabetes, and all. Now, we know that we're not saying don't treat your stroke, but you're saying that the body has a tremendous ability to heal. If you would go back and correct these 6 pillars we're talking about, I mentioned nutrition, I've mentioned exercise, I've mentioned sleep. I think you're going to talk about insomnia. Sleep is so important, because during sleep, the body repairs itself. And so you see, sleep is something we must go back to. And make sure you have restorative sleep.
Are there kinds of food that can make sleep easier for people who have sleep issues? I'm talking about people who have insomnia issues. Is there a kind of food that can aid them to sleep better at night?
Okay.
Is there any recommendation you might want to give for that?
Yeah, there are a lot of things that could help. There's some teas, like chamomile teas are calming. They actually can help you sleep better at night. But when you have insomnia, find out the cause of the insomnia first. Because you must address, in lifestyle medicine, we believe in addressing the root cause. What is causing this problem? Don't just clean the water, try to stop the tap from flowing. Simple thing like social connectedness. You know, why are people having issues? They don't have connections with their families anymore, with their friends.
Okay, this is part of
the pillar.
The lifestyle of medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, social connectedness. We encourage family support. We say, make time to laugh, make time to have fun. It impacts your health directly. In fact, it has been found that even a short time, even with a stranger that is pleasant, affects your physiology. That's how good it is. So it is very important that you are connected socially. Even stress management. You know, stress is the 21st century killer. Most of the diseases are from stress. People don't know how to manage stress. And in lifestyle medicine, we are saying you must learn to manage stress. So that's important, apart from avoiding harmful substances.
Okay, so let us look at the World Lifestyle Week. Knowing that this is just a new segment of medicine that's been introduced, I understand that even the teaching hospitals all have it now. There are physicians who are specialized in this. What awareness? How much awareness are people creating? Because when I got to find out about lifestyle medicine, I'm like, wow, this is different. What is the awareness plan? How do you intend to send this message for people to really get to understand that you can actually prevent this thing? You can actually live a lifestyle that can help you live healthier.
Beautiful. One of the things we are doing is, first of all, to get all the doctors on board, because first of all, we want lifestyle medicine is the foundation of medicine. It's not really one is a medical specialty for those that will do in intensive therapeutic therapy, but we want lifestyle medicine to be on the lips of everybody, and that's why we're here, to create the media awareness that somebody hears this lifestyle medicine. Simple things: just start sleeping well, eating well, managing your stress. If you need help, you can come to the hospital. But these are basic things we need to do. So we want to tell the people outside there that the way you live your life affects your health. We are getting doctors also on board to train doctors too about lifestyle medicine. And that's what we're going to do. And we're believing that in a very near time, we're going to have everybody understand that wellness is in their hands.
Okay, well, let's look at how do we differentiate this from herbal therapy.
Okay.
Because at some point they would also say to you that there is some natural trees, leaves, fruits that can help people. Sweets, I'm talking about reversal of illnesses and of course manage illnesses and prevent illnesses, that our forefathers prior to education had such things, and they did not ever need to have cancer or anything, like, because they were at their backyard. There was always this tree that you could just squeeze and drink and you feel good. How do you differentiate this lifestyle medicine from the herbal medicine? Because it's still like tilted, almost looking like the same.
Not at all.
Okay.
Lifestyle medicine is part of conventional medicine.
Okay.
We are not anti-conventional medicine. For example, if a lifestyle physician sees a diabetic that the blood sugar is very high, of course going to use medication. Before you become a lifestyle medicine physician, you're already a doctor. Remember that. You're already a conventionally trained doctor. So you are not a herbalist. Meaning that you're not going to tell your patient avoid taking medications. What we're saying is that things, we agree completely that there are bioactives in plants that can actually reverse and prevent disease. But we are doing it with science. We're not saying my father did it and so I think it's correct. No, we are saying we have the evidence to show that when we take this patient as a whole, we are able to, with lifestyle changes, treat, reverse, and prevent disease.
In other words, you're saying before you can recommend a particular fruit, there must have been researches that have been done to prove that this particular thing can give iron, this particular thing can do this for the body.
And we know the doses, we know what is content. If I tell you now, for example, that okay, watermelon is good for cardiovascular, your heart disease or something, I'm going to tell you what it contains. I don't want to start mentioning the names now. I'll tell you, okay, it contains lycopene. This is what lycopene is going to do. You know, I'm not telling you what my father told me. I'm telling you what the science shows, and I have the evidence to back it up. So, and if I tell you, for example, that we have stem cells in cancers, and we have some things that can attack the stem cells of cancer. I'm not
like the SARS-CoV. I understand that it's very helpful for cancerous cells.
So we're talking about science here. We're not saying stories. So before you even become a lifestyle medicine physician, you're already a doctor. The only thing you are saying is we want to change the paradigm for a pill for every ill. We're saying primary modality of treatment should be lifestyle changes. If there is a need, the pill becomes an adjunct. You understand now? You can add the pill, but first of all, look at this patient. Can we treat the root cause? What's really causing this problem? Can we attack that problem at the root? Let me give you an analogy. You have a tap that is running, and you come into this room and you start mopping the floor. You keep mopping the floor. Does it make sense? The tap is still leaking. If you were wise, you were going to first of all come and put up that tap, then attempt to mop the floor, isn't it? And you're going to get better.
Or rather mop the floor while the floor is getting a bit dry.
You can
now put up the tap.
But if you leave that tap, then you're wasting your time. So lifestyle medicine goes to the root cause and wants to say what causes illness in the first instance and how can I reverse it. Then of course the pill mops the floor, so that's okay.
All right, this week is Lifestyle Medicine Week, celebrated all over the world, and they're trying to raise awareness. It's just a basic way of saying something has made this headache persistent. If you've got, sometimes you go and check, and then you find out that you don't have a particular illness that's causing this headache, but you just notice that you have headache, maybe because you have too much going on in your head.
Exactly.
That can actually just result in headache. So how about just a chit chat with someone to just lighten your mood a little bit? That, I guess that's what you are saying.
Managing stress.
Yeah.
Look, doctor, I'm open up and manage that stress. What if we take that stress off you and show you how to deal with it? And the headache goes. We don't have to give you a pill.
Sometimes what you need is a counselor.
Do you understand?
Not the pill. Not the pill.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the much we can take with our friend who came from the lifestyle sector. I'm going to start to get used to that. Lifestyle medicine has come to stay. They say that it's now being introduced in all hospitals. So if you go to a hospital, you might want to ask them, do you have a lifestyle doctor here? To actually, we need to find out whether this one is it the, what do you call it? The chill or the pill? What did you say?
The pill.
No, you call it
not the pill for every ill.
Not the pill for every ill, you know. Okay, well, this is Niger Delta Today, coming to you live from STV Television, and we will take a break at this juncture. Thank you very much, Dr. Afyong John, for coming by the studio. And we do hope that you send this message out and then get to raise more awareness about this.
Yeah, definitely.
Me, for one, I'm not really a pill kind of person.
Yeah, so then we need to tell you how to live the life.
Exactly. Okay, so we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have Dr. Ofemu Azubike with us. He'll be talking to us about sleep issues. We already talked a little bit about it with Dr. Afyong, where she mentioned that sleep is actually part of lifestyle remedies. Yeah, so how good is your sleep? How good is your sleep? Dr. Febo will be teaching you, of course, what can make you oversleep and how to prevent it, of course, and what you need to do to be healthy on Living Healthy right here on Niger Delta Today. Stay with us as we take a break. When we come back, the show continues.
With a gradual lifting of COVID-19 restrictions across the country, life seems to be returning to something close to normal. But is it really? The coronavirus is still out there and remains deadly and highly contagious, and only too willing to strike again and again and again. Do not drop your guard. Maintain good personal hygiene, avoid overcrowded places, and more significantly, get vaccinated. Remember, it's never over till it's completely over. This is a message from the Silverbird Group.
Okay, welcome back to, of course, Niger Delta today, coming to you live from Silverbird Television. And today is Wednesday. Every Wednesday on this show, you will have the privilege of getting well informed about your health, because we know that while we're interested in the governance and all the political talk and everything, we know that health is paramount. Without health, good health, you can't really function. I'm pretty sure that anyone who feels a cardiac or perhaps a cardiac arrest or any kind of disease symptoms will not be able to go for campaigns or anything like that. Doc, am I wrong?
Without the health, there's no wealth.
At all. On that note, I welcome Dr. Febu Azubike Victor. Good morning on Niger Delta today. Let's go on straight. We're looking at sleep issues.
Yes.
How well is your sleep? For those of you who followed up when the show had a different name, all right, this is like a continuation. But anyways, let's just look at it from like in wholesomely.
Yeah.
Let's look at insomnia. What is insomnia all about?
Good morning, listeners and people of Niger Delta. We started talking about sleep and how is your sleep as a question. And we said that sleep is not just the act of lying down on the bed and snoozing off. There is a function, there's a purpose for that. It's to create restfulness, to give you that ability to be so rested and rejuvenated. So the question that comes with having slept is, were you rejuvenated? Did you rest enough? Did you feel revived? And there are some things that will make this happen and some things that will make it not happen. We talked about the causes of insomnia, because when you say insomnia, it says when you're not able to sleep, either fall asleep as fast as you want to sleep, or you wake up intermittently and you're not fully resting, or you're not able to stay fully rested or asleep throughout the whole night. And we also talked about such things that make that happen. Maybe the mindset, the individual's mind, stressful states before going to bed. And then if it's become overwhelming, it may make you not to sleep at all. We talked about work ethics, people's lifestyle and work. You go to work and the workload is so heavy, you couldn't finish work at the workplace. You took the work to your house and then you started continuing the work. And then you went into the night, and while sleeping, even when you wake up to ease yourself in the night, you remember there's a workload that's left undone, and you want to catch up some time and you go back to work again. So those are things that helps people not to fall asleep or go to sleep and sleep properly well. Again, if you are a shift worker, people who work like nurses, doctors, rig workers and all of that, people who go off duties and work, sometimes they say it's 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out. Such people have this challenge of sleeping properly, because when you are supposed to be awake, you are supposed to be fully awake to attend to the needs of your work. And then when you stay fully awake for a while, you are supposed to have some off days to rest and catch up. But many times, because of the economic status and economic stress, people don't do that. They go to work, they don't sleep at night, and in the daytime they should rest and catch up the sleep. They go to another work. Our brothers and sisters in the diaspora are guilty in this perspective. Most of them take 3 jobs to make ends meet, pay their bills and all of that. And you see that when they come back home sometimes during Christmas periods, they're not looking so lovely and lively like we used to know people who live abroad. It's because they're working too hard and they're not catching up on their sleep. Another thing that helps us not to sleep so well or have insomnia is if you have traveled long distances and you've crossed over some timelines. You call it jet lag. Those situations make people to not acclimatize easily to their times and their events. And such situations, affect the normal circadian rhythm of the body. The body has a clock that tells it is daytime, stay awake, and it's nighttime sleep. And that nighttime when you should sleep, it's meant, like the scripture says, the Lord giveth his beloved sweet sleep. Sleep ought to happen in the night. In the daytime, you're supposed to be very wakeful to attend to the day's activities and the routines of the day. So if you're not able to do that at night, you may now become subject to being sleepy during the day, which makes you now have the problems of oversleeping sometimes. Even though you have slept in the night, but you didn't rest enough, you didn't catch up on your rest, then you begin to feel sleepy during the day. That even in occasions and situations like this, somebody may be on the stage having an interview and then he dozes off and nods off once in a while.
Okay, so I mean, we've gotten the whole preamble of what sleep is, how important it is. You've been able to tell us that in like this very exciting manner, which you explained it this morning. Well, let's look at, of course, the two different aspects of it. We have the insomnia, which is inability to sleep well, and then, of course, the oversleeping part of it, where people now sleep as though something is wrong. Like they are standing, once they are standing for 5 minutes and they manage to have a wall to rest their body, sleep takes them off. What can actually lead to somebody oversleeping? What can cause oversleep?
The same things that cause someone not to sleep well will also make some people oversleep. Because they didn't sleep well, they now sleep too much. And they sleep much more than they should. Because remember last week I talked about sleeping expectancy for an adult is 7 to 8 hours in a day, in the night. And then we said the children should sleep from 9 to 10 hours. And we talked about teenagers sleeping for 9 hours at least. And in the environment, the days we have ourselves in now, most teenagers stay awake in the night, doing either video or chatting or stuff. So they stay awake in the night, trying to buy time, chat with their friends, and in the daytime, they are not.
But there are situations where people actually sleep at night.
Yes.
But even after, it doesn't seem like the sleep is enough.
That becomes oversleeping.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there are people who sleep in the day because they didn't have a good rest at night. But there are people who, no matter how many hours they sleep at night, whenever they get to work, you see their head down on their desk, they are sleeping. They find themselves in public gathering, they are sleeping. They sleep too much. What can cause that particular kind?
There are what to call sleep disorders also.
Okay.
People may have actually slept at night. When you ask them, they say, I didn't sleep well. The reality is that they didn't feel restful. So they didn't sleep well. It's a subjective diagnosis, as it were. I can't tell you slept well when you say you didn't sleep well. It is you that tells me that I didn't sleep well. I know that I didn't sleep properly. It could have been that you were actually, at the times I wake up, I slept with you in the same house, and I know that you were on the bed throughout the night. But when you wake up in the morning, you say you didn't sleep enough. What happened? You may have had some situations what we call, like, for instance, restless leg syndrome. People who cannot stop their legs from moving. It can happen in the daytime. It can also happen at night. And in such situations, you are always active, the legs are moving, and does not give the person that restfulness that sleeps bring. And again, the people who have some other issues like anxiety disorders, they're actually sleeping, but their minds are awake. Remember I talked about your mind being wakeful. The activities of the brain does not
about the REM sleep and
non-REM sleep. Yes, those events are things that helps you. In every normal sleep hour for about 7 hours to 8 hours, an individual should have about 5 cycles of REM and non-REM sleep to be restful, to be complete. That's 5 hours. If you had it 4 hours, it wouldn't have been complete. If you had it 6 hours, you have overshot the normal, and it will affect you because you are borrowed into another person's or another hour's time of sleep. So oversleeping is in its own self and a disorder. There are other conditions that I have not mentioned. What you call obstructive sleep apnea. People who are obese, who have become overweight over time, and they have become so grossly enlarged in their neck area that their soft tissues fall back when they fall asleep. This causes them to become have difficulty in breathing, and they will stop breathing at a time. If you have slept with somebody who snores terribly, you find out that sometimes they will snore and they will stop breathing at a time, and you will have to wake them up to say, hey, can you wake up? Change your posture. That kind of person will likely have a syndrome that we call obstructive sleep apnea because of his obesity. And such situation will make him not to even be able to consider his activities. He may be sleeping while driving. So that's the danger of oversleeping. That's the danger of having these issues come up in your life. You cannot maintain your natural lifestyle. You have to be awake in the afternoon, in the daytime, to maintain your life, to your livelihood. But you are sleeping during the time you should be actively getting involved in economic affairs. But here you are sleeping. So it will affect you. You may even be a teacher in the classroom, and then you talking to the kids in the class, and you suddenly drift off.
I've seen that. I've seen someone who you just be talking with, and why you just, excuse me, can I just attend to this person? You turn, 2 minutes break, and the person's eyes are closed. I was shocked. I'm like, is everything okay? Say, I feel a little bit of malaria.
Other times, lifestyle problems. The persons have difficulty in organizing their lives. They are doing things the right things at the wrong time. You ought to have slept maybe at 9, at 10. You stayed awake till 2. Now you will be able to wake up around 6 a.m. You will not be able to feel that revived. You want to sleep till 10. And your work demands that you wake up and go to work by 7.
Okay, but let's look at it now. What can be the adverse effect? Let's look at not sleeping first. What can it result to? What can be the health danger, the health implication of not sleeping? Let's look at that first before we go to the health implication of oversleeping. What is the health implication of not sleeping well?
Because the time to sleep is to help the body recover from all its activities. There are hormones that are secreted during sleep. We call them the lovely hormones, the serotonins, the endorphins, the love hormones. If you do not sleep actively properly and get rejuvenated, these hormones are not released. So what happens is the counter hormones, the ones that makes you frightened, afraid, and anxious, that are always on board. So you are always in a sympathetic state rather than being in a parasympathetic state. What I mean by that, those hormones that help you to be very relaxed and comfortable are not secreted because the brain has not rested. It stimulates the hormones that makes you active to be on all the time. And these hormones, they are the hormones that affects your activity. They make the heartbeat go faster. So people like that will have what we call tachycardia, heartbeat will be rapid, very, very fast. Their heart rate will be fast. And of course, that will also ultimately lead to a hypertensive state.
Okay.
The other things that happen, they may even have metabolic syndromes, like diabetes will come in. Cortisol is so high in them all the time. Adrenaline is very high all the time. They cannot maintain a stable environment. They are agitated. You talk to them, they feel the first response they give to you is rash and uncalculated. They just want to respond terribly. They don't keep relationships. They are always on the fire. Rather than being able to be cordial, they are always anxious. That having anxiety state is also a problem because what it will cause you, you will lose your relationships, you will lose friendliness, you will not be a good person to go to. Even in politics, people will not want to be part of your campaign team.
Because you always be hostile.
You hostile, yes, because you are irritated.
So what about, I'm talking about the medical implication now. What can it result to?
Chronic illnesses.
Like?
Diabetes, hypertension, anxiety, stroke can come because you didn't sleep enough.
Okay, so hypertension can come from there.
Yes.
So, but there are people who would say, I'm not thinking of anything. As a matter of fact, I actually felt tired before I got home. But I get to my bed. With this tiredness I feel, the sleep disappears.
Now, the question will be, what is your sleep hygiene? Because that is part of the prevention and therapy for people who don't sleep properly. People should make their rooms as cozy and as lovely as possible. Make the room as quiet and as cool as possible. Not having so much brightness of light in it. Shutters should be as dim as possible. Then play very subtle, soft music, not music that is loud. Some people have their rooms as their theater. They play so much loud music and all that. And sometimes the room should not be made to be your work environment. Actually, your bedroom should be used for just 2 purposes: sleep and romance. Those are the only things acceptable to be in the room. Anything else is too much.
Okay, we will take a short break so that we can get to actually open the phone line for you to get to call in and ask your questions. This is, of course, related to lifestyle, if you look at it very well, because this week is actually Lifestyle Week. It's a week where you get Lifestyle Medicine Week, a week where you get to examine yourself. What am I doing wrong? And this week on Niger Delta Today, we are teaching you how to study your sleep and, of course, know what is wrong with your sleep. You might take it for granted, but the sleep is as essential as, you know, what you do with your car, what you do with your phone is called rebooting. What you do with your system if it's malfunctioning, you say let me refresh, let me reboot. That is what sleep is to the body. We are talking with Dr. Zubi today on this. When we come back from this break, the phone line is of course open for you to get to calling, and then we'll also be looking at, of course, what are other measures, what are the treatments if you actually find out that you have insomnia and oversleeping issues. What are the treatment, what can be done to salvage or help someone in this predicament? We'll be right back after this break.
With a gradual lifting of COVID-19 restrictions across the country, life seems to be returning to something close to normal. But is it really? The coronavirus is still out there and remains deadly and highly contagious, and only too willing to strike again and again and again. Do not drop your guard. Maintain good personal hygiene, avoid overcrowded places, and more significantly, get vaccinated. Remember, it's never over till it's completely over. This is a message from the Silverbird Group.
Okay, welcome back to Niger Delta Today, and today is all about your health. We are looking at, of course, it's the week where we get to celebrate the lifestyle medicine that is teaching you what you need to do, in other words, to avoid some kind of illnesses. And just to buttress how much we are taking this serious, Dr. Ofebu is looking at sleep issues today, and then we have a call already. Let's take this call. Hello? Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, what's your name and where are you calling from, and then your question?
My complaint concerning this sleep issue.
Okay.
My own case is that I have health challenge.
Please, can we get your name? Your name, please.
Oh, my name is Mrs. Timmy. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, go on.
I have health challenge, and then I want to sleep as my body is asking me to sleep.
Okay.
But my husband will not allow me to sleep. He will be calling me that I should come and wake up now. I should wake up.
Okay. So let's get it now. What would you like us to?
Why would I not sleep when my body is saying I should sleep?
Okay.
And it's a problem.
Okay.
Somebody that is not feeling too strong all the time.
Okay.
And I want to have my rest.
Okay.
Okay.
My husband will come and disturb me, sometimes even for marital property.
Okay, it's all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling.
So please, doctor.
All right.
I don't know what you
Yes,
can.
Madam Tilly, your question was that you already have issues with your health. So because you're not healthy, you're feeling sick, your body has to recover from ill health. The way the body recovers from ill health is to rest. And one thing that happens during rest is you likely sleep. So that is why you are sleeping. Maybe for your husband, it's like you're excessively sleeping. But to you, you are trying to catch up your time of rest. So your husband is afraid that you are sleeping too much. It may become harmful to you. That is why he's trying to wake you up, if that is what you mean. Or he's waking you for some other thing. You have to get that discussion going with
because
him.
we don't have any solution as to your husband waking you up, but we can help you perhaps with telling you how to sleep well. That's the much we can do.
And if you're not feeling well, you have been ill for a while, you need to see a doctor to really take care of that particular chronic ailment, so that you can really sleep properly. Because if you're sick for prolonged time, it will affect your overall health.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, so your name, where you're calling from, and then your question. It has to be health related. Thank
My
you.
name is NK. I'm calling from Masama. Anthony.
Okay. All right, go on.
That the last caller, that woman. Nah, listeners. Maybe she has.
It's all right. So we can take this call. We appreciate. Please, can we cut off the call, please? Thank you. When you're calling, don't be concerned about what the other caller said as regards to their health. It is actually not your business. All right. Please, if you're calling and you have a health question, ask us. Ask Dr. Febu, ask Dr. Zubi. He's going to explain to you. But don't be concerned about somebody's health problem. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, your name, where you're calling from, and your question.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, calling from Port Harcourt.
Please, can you turn off your television volume? It's obstructing the flow of the information you're giving. I hear a hole back there.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I have a question. Okay, please, I have someone who has a high BP. So he said the doctor said he shouldn't engage on his daily exercise. I want to know how he.
The doctor said he should stop his daily exercises.
Yes, because of his.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That depends on what the problem the person is presenting. If the person has heart-related problems, it is wise for the doctor to have advised that he should reduce his exercises, not necessarily cutting it off completely, because exercise is supposed to be helpful in recovery. So if you were doing 3 hours of exercising the day before your ailment, the doctor may have asked you to reduce it to 30 minutes. As a matter of fact, you don't need more than 30 minutes to 1 hour maximum of exercising a day to stay healthy. Except you are an athlete or you are somebody who's rehearsing for the Olympics. But if it's to maintain good health, 30 minutes of exercise in a day is good enough to give you that capacity to stay healthy. Because what you are trying to do in exercise is actually to move your muscles, move your joints, and to get your cells active. It also helps you to move your digestive system, to mobilize those cells that are in your body, to help them to become vibrant and active to do their functions as they're supposed to do them. So if your doctor said you should stop exercise completely, it is either because the person is severely ill, or he just asked you to reduce the exercise, not to cut it off completely.
Okay, so let's go back to the topic of today. How is your sleep? And we're looking at insomnia as well as okay, let's take this call and we'll go over to that. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Your name, where you're calling from, and then your question, please. You have just a minute.
My name is Bella. I'm coming from Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Please, I want to ask the doctor. I have BP, but recently I don't sleep well. Now since I'm thinking about anything, I'll just be on the bed, but I cannot sleep. If at all I try to close my eyes, I see if I'm falling, I see if I'm sleeping, I will my ears, you see the hearing change happening around, and it makes me to be sad. I'm not always happy about that. sleep, but I know that I want to sleep, but I cannot sleep. It makes me feel so sad, and I wake up when it's morning, if I come out from bed, I start having headache. So I want to know what I do.
Okay. All right. I didn't hear all your question, but I heard some.
Okay, I'm just going to rephrase. Yes. She said, it's a recent development.
Okay.
It wasn't like this before, but she just noticed that recently she doesn't sleep well. Now she's not thinking about anything. It's just like I had painted a picture of someone being really tired. And you talked about what the room looks like and all that, the comfortability and all that. Sometimes the room is very, very comfortable and the person is tired, but you get to the bed where you ought to sleep and you find yourself keeping awake till morning. That's exactly what she's complaining about. What should she do to help herself?
Let me explain something to us. Man is not just body. We are spirit beings. We are spirit. We have a soul. We live in our bodies. Your body may be so tired, but your spirit and your soul is still active. Your mind is still active. And as long as your mind is so active, it needs to be quieted down. Let your mind calm down. Well, how do you rest your mind? Think about lovely things. Stop meditating and keeping your activities in your mind so active that it will overwhelm you. Sometimes you want to go to bed, but your mind is still about your business. That transaction you didn't do well. And you just spring up from bed and take your calculator and your biro and begin to calculate the money that you lost.
Sometimes you're running through your day while you're
thinking about what happened throughout that discussion. That is not what you should be having in your sleep time. Make your sleep time a restful time. Engage in the plan. Actually, plan your sleep. Before your time for sleep, plan how I'm going to sleep. If, for instance, maybe you go to bed and you are looking at your screen and you count it.
We really do not have enough time, but I'd like us to just quickly, in a minute, can you just tell us that one remedy that can help someone who has insomnia issues?
You need to identify what the problem is. Because obviously your body talks to us. Our body talks to us. If you go to bed and your body is not going into sleep as you want it, something is actually happening to you. Your body is trying to respond or react to that thing that is helping him not to sleep. Find out what it is. Is it that you are anxious, you are getting worried for nothing, or you are getting too distracted from the things of your own life? Maybe you are getting involved in other people's lives that shouldn't really be, because some people get busy about people's lives and they forget their own lives. Love your own self first. Love yourself. It is only when you love yourself you can love other people. So when you have not rested enough, when your body has not yielded to sleep enough, don't begin to persuade yourself to get involved in other people's problems. Then you need to see a practitioner, somebody who will help you to organize that problem, identify what it is, and then get you a solution. Sometimes we call it
I'm going to have to stop you here at this point. Thank you very much, Dr. Afebu. I know if I give you all day, you'll perhaps tell us so much more. All right, that's the much we can take today on Niger Delta Today. Tomorrow is another time, 11 a.m. And of course, if you're watching, of course, on STV News 24, of course, and tomorrow is another time, of course, 1 to 2 on STV 24 as well. So basically, this is that show that comes to you every day, to be from 11 a.m. to 12 noon every on, of course, STV News, STV station Port Harcourt, and then of course on STV News 24 to be from 1 to 2 p.m. We'll say thank you for sticking around and watching. Tomorrow, of course, we'll bring you so much more happening around the news and everything. Tomorrow is not about health, it's all about politics, it's all about governance, it's all about topical issues. My name is Deborah Balama. Thank you for being there. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Dr. Zibi, for coming by the show.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.